If it's a woman you're calling, then you say, you're a good woman, I'm a good man.
Raimi, Spider-Man, and Steven Universe. I reference them a good bit in the channel. Two of my most popular videos involve them. Both are currently a hot source for video analysis. But the main areas talked about the most as of late is definitely the last chapters. A third installment that so far is the true ending of the series, where the main character gains a new power that affects his behaviour and relationships, has a philosophical theme underneath, and even though it isn't terrible, a portion of the fandom has mixed thoughts on the final product, and some wish that it turned out better as a finale. Basically, they're the same, which is what this video is about.
You and I are not so different.
I'm not like you.
But maybe you are. Also not going to delve too far into the deep psychological areas, just the main level comparisons. Many others can do and have done a better job in that area than I ever could. Anyway, let's get started. So the opening for both of them takes place a few months after the event of the last chapter, which itself takes place 2 years after the end of what came before it. We see our protagonists, Steven Universe and Peter Parker, finally getting past their lives on track, embracing their true selves. And how do they show this? An opening monologue.
It's me, Peter Parker, your friendly neighborhood, you know. I've come a long way from being the boy who was bit by a spider.
Life is a little different these days. The Diamonds have ended their reign of terror. The intergalactic war is over, and Earth is officially an independent planet.
During this opening, we see what the rest of the cast are currently doing, and the two characters are pursuing their careers related to music. Things are sailing fairly well, but there's still unfinished business. Peter and Steven try to reason with someone about past incidents, Harry and Jasper. Both have blamed Peter and Steven for the death of someone, and even knowing the identity of both, there's still tension and thus are unable to be reasoned with. They have a fight, and the one gets completely knocked out. Past feelings begin to resurface when they learn more stuff about the past. Peter learning that Flint Marco actually shot Uncle Ben, and Steven finding out what Pink Diamond did to a pearl. In the past, this is shown to be a sensitive topic to them, but how both have felt guilt for their actions, believing them to be the reason why these two parental figures are no longer living. They seem to have moved on, but when they realize there's unfinished business related to them, this leads to them lashing out.
No, I have no intention of settling down. This man killed my uncle, and he's still out there.
I don't want to hear about it. I don't even want to think about it.
This brings us to the main crux of the story. The black suit, and Steven's diamond abilities. One properly arrives later than the other, but both serve the same function. It enhances their strength, aggression, and later on makes them into a jackass, whilst giving off grandiose thoughts. The first thing to do with this new power is take down someone they wouldn't have been able to defeat normally. Going back to the aggression side, the new power leads to moments of them lashing out towards someone, which they regret doing shortly after a quick look in the mirror, where they see what their new power is capable of doing. Cactus Steven works similarly to the Venom symbiote, which are both start off small, but grow stronger with negative thoughts until both become an unstable creature. Similarly, Venom and Bluebird share a connection with how the combination of two characters would share hatred for the main hero due to them wronging them in the past. They also put someone close to Peter and Steven at risk, echoing what a previous villain has done. Also, both characters have potentially been well-crafted villains, but couldn't due to not enough time, and thus were kind of made into a joke. Slight studio limits. I know one was more impactful than the other, but many say if there was more time and the core areas were more focused, then the pacing for both would be a lot better during the second half. In an attempt to expand their relationships, Peter and Steven have a date with MJ and Connie respectively. They also attempt to propose, but are rejected. The main difference, of course, is that Connie has a more justifiable reason for saying no, and isn't being blackmailed into rejecting Steven's proposal. I know some might say MJ's reason is kind of justified too due to the way Peter acted towards her, but still could have been better executed. This rejection only fuels their inner power. In the other's cut, the power Peter puts on the black suit comes after the party scene. One difference about both powers is how Peter chooses to use his new powers whenever he wants, while Steven comes unintentionally half the time. But the deep root of the powers definitely comes from their emotions. Throughout the story, both characters reject and ignore the help from people closest to them, with them wanting to handle their personal issues alone.
I get it, thank you. But, I'm fine. I don't need your help.
I'm fine. I've just got some stuff on my mind.
Everybody needs help sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
Both Steven and Peter / Spider-Man are primarily associated with the colours red and blue, whereas the main colour worn this time? Black. After some turmoil, both go to seek advice from someone. This leads to a rematch, but due to the newfound vengeance, Peter and Steven end up overpowering Harry and Jasper, leaving their fates slightly disfigured. And with this, there's a symbol of ego featured, with how both now embody more destructive elements that go against everything they previously stood for. At the peak of their power, both fully adopt and embrace a new persona that's overly confident, acts like everything's fine, and also inconveniences people around them. Peter ruins a career, Stephen ruins an anthem. Both are presented as comedic, but with Chad Stephen there's a sort of unease mixed with concern, because you know what's caused him to go down like this, along with waiting for that inevitable moment where everything crashes down. And it does. Peter hurts MJ, the last person he would even think of hurting, whilst realising he has hurt and let down everyone closest to him. While Stephen ends up doing the same thing as reality begins to settle in. Peter comes to his senses and manages to remove the catalyst that has caused him to go down this route, but accidentally leads to the creation of his next foe for him to fight, while Stephen gives in and becomes the next foe for his friends to fight. So then we have a final battle, which is against an emotionally unstable monster that has roughly the same amount of screen time. But Spider-Man 3 gets 2 unstable monsters for the price of 1. Now you're thinking, but the final conflicts aren't the same. Venom isn't defeated with a hug/magic tears. Well, you're right. But at the same time, parts of the conflict are resolved with characters confessing their past mistakes. But again, they're presented in 2 different ways. One is genuine and serious.
I just want you to understand.
I've done terrible things too.
And the other is more...
But that was because you were angry with Pink. And if Pink hurt you, it was because I hurt her.
But everyone sort of makes peace maybe, and then Peter and Stephen cry afterwards. Everyone cries. Which has been a recurring aspect of the series since day 1, so it's not really much of a surprise.
I think crying is really funny.
And after everything both Peter and Stephen have gone through, the series ends with a quick but hopeful note. Peter begins to repair his relationship with MJ, and Stephen starts to fix parts of his life and move on to new endeavors. The ending is bittersweet and wraps up both series nicely. Unless Spider-Verse/Doctor Strange 2 changes that. And final note, both these series are noted for the various topics and stories to make them stand out compared to similar media. Many have praised Steven Universe for its way of handling various topics compared to other cartoons, while many have talked about the various themes of the Raimi films when compared to the storylines in current Marvel films. And yeah, could these finales have turned out better? Definitely. Could the message have been clearer? Yes. Does that ruin the journey? Well, it depends on your opinion on both. And no matter what, it has been regarded by many that there will probably never be another series of this type, and the impact of many, with both having a dedicated, if sometimes overly defensive, fandom. Thanks Sugar and Raimi, and everyone involved with both series. Wish everyone the best of luck for the future, and thank you for watching. So to the 0.5% of you that made it this far, you're probably wondering what got me to do this. How do you go from epic paracynical funny moments to a video essay and 2 slightly divisive series? Well, like I've said before, I want to sort of possibly break the mold from my usual style of videos every now and again. You've seen it before, the occasional experimental videos, the Sonic review, and like I said, I want to try out new areas, but at the same time I still feel content with what I'm currently doing. But if I'm to go in this sort of direction, I'm still going to need some input from you. I appreciate the gratitude if you made it this far and enjoy it, as it allows me to take a risk like this every now and again. I don't really plan on YouTube being a career anytime soon for me, but if I could get at least 200 to 300 views per video with the sub numbers I have right now, that would be plenty. The direction of the channel can kind of go one of 2 ways at this point. Either I'll start focusing on more smaller projects, or I'll suddenly get a huge boost in energy and start putting up more bigger videos like the summer of last year. I'm still going to try and keep entertaining you all for as long as I can. Subscribe if you're new, playlist on the right has a good selection of introduction videos, and here's my social media pages. Thank you for watching, I'll see ya.
Surprise! We were sitting in the dark.
What's the occasion?
Pizza.
Pizza time. Pizza time. Pizza time.